The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It sure as hell looked bad at MetLife on Sunday. Our film analyst, Joe Blewett, will show you why it was so much worse than what even the final score indicates. The latest on the Jets, Aaron Glenn, and much more. Keep it right here. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Show number 2 on the day. I'm still in what looks like a prison, but I promise you it's not a prison. I'm live from the ESPN New York studios because my apartment building is going under some construction today. So we've been here since 4:45 a.m. We did the show with Robbie Sabo earlier. Check that out if you want more Jet content. And now we say hello to our guy, the film guru himself, Joe Blewett, also from JetsXFactor.com. Joe, I almost feel bad that I gifted you tickets to this game on Sunday. I know you had good seats. I know you had a good tailgate and all that, but man, that had to just be brutal when that game actually started.
Yeah, again, like I argue with a lot of people on Twitter, like, why are you there? You have no life. And really, again, it's just to hang out with my friends and stuff. So that's the best part of the game. You go into the game, you know what's going to happen. But the seats were amazing. I've never sat in seats that good, so I definitely appreciate it. It probably kept me there for a quarter longer than I would have been. So it was bad. Like I was saying to you just a minute ago, like it was probably 80%, 75% Pats fans to like 20-25% Jets fans. And like it was true home field where Jets fans weren't making any noise at all because what do they have to make noise for? But even when they did a little bit, like Pats fans were getting angry that Jets fans were making noise in their own stadium, tell them to sit down and shut up. And Jets fans just were so apathetic. Like in the past, you get told to sit down by a Pats fan. Like there's going to be a fight. This year, it's like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm going to sit down. You know, it was really, really, really weird vibes. I am so thankful that there's only two more kind of weeks of like watching this film and doing all this stuff. I'm so ready to get into the off season because this is embarrassing. It truly is embarrassing how bad they are. 28 nothing. Right at the start of the second quarter, after they scored that Ramondre Stevenson touchdown, the game was over from there. And really, it's over before it even starts with the Jets at this point.
153-46 is the score over the Jets' last 4 games. I mean, there's bad, and then there's what the Jets are doing. They became the first team since the 1972 Patriots to lose 4 straight games by 23 or more in one season. And we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, and right now the line on Sunday for Jets-Bills is 7.5. Again, I don't really care what the line is. I can't picture a scenario where the Jets don't lose by double digits, if not even more than that, because when you think about it, whether it's Josh Allen or Mitchell Trubisky, it looked like they quit on their coach on Sunday. And if that's the case, why would we expect the Jets to show a great effort on the road in the last regular season game at Ralph Wilson Stadium when the Bills are going to be amped up no matter who is out there? I think this could be another bloodbath on Sunday. What's your feel for this last one?
Yeah, what is it? Four losses in a row by 21 plus points. I'm sure you already went over that stat. And this would be the first time in history, right? 5 in a row if we would lose by 21. And like at this point, like I don't want to root against the Jets to get blown out, but is it our only like saving grace that maybe Glenn is fired? Like Woody Johnson sees this like, hey, dude, we're getting blown out in literally more than half of our games at this point. And 5 games in a row. So I think they'll get smacked. It would be so Jets for them to win and Trubisky's in or something like that, like early into the game, and somehow they win. But they've been so bad that I'm not even really that concerned about it, kind of like you are. they're number 3 now in the draft. Obviously, hope the Giants win on Sunday against the Cowboys. They move up to 2, and then you're going to get most likely one of Moore or Simpson in that instance. Obviously, a lot can change, but really got to care about the draft at this point. So that's really I'll be almost more glued, and I probably will be more glued to the Giants Cowboys game. There'll be more excitement than the Jets Bills game on Sunday, which is wild, but it's where we are, having to root for other teams for draft positioning and root against the Jets, and it's been like this for so many years now. And it's not even like it's always in December. Like I feel like we were talking about this quite literally, like right after even the Bills game, like week 2, Jake, we're like, dude, this is not a good sign. Like how this team is playing already. Then the Bucs game happened, the Dolphins game. And like by the end of September, it was that the season was already over. And it's been like that for so many years. It's hard not to be apathetic at this point. And we can talk all off season, and obviously we will, about quarterbacks and receivers and who they can sign in free agency. But if Aaron Glenn doesn't take his head out of his ass, we're not going anywhere anyway. So it's almost hard to have like true hope. But my God, I am ready for the season to end. I do not want to watch the 2025 Jets again. I'm so ready for it to be over.
Before we get to the film, not safe for work type of film, if you got, small children around, young people around, don't show them what's about to be displayed on your screen. Good Lord. But I want to play you the comments that Aaron Glenn walked back about effort, because this to me is a major red flag of some internal locker room strife or lack of belief in the coach. This was Glenn yesterday walking back the post-game comments where he talked about the Jets not having the best effort on the field Sunday.
And getting a chance to look at it last night and look at it again this morning, I would say this: effort was not the issue with that game. I thought our guys, I thought they played all the way to the very end. What really showed up is like they did some things schematically I thought that was challenging, offensively and defensively, that we really have to take a look at and try to hone in on, try to fix those things. And I would say some of their players just made plays.
What did the film say, Joe Blewett, when you walked it back?
Yeah, transparently, like I texted you before the show, it's like this is the least I've ever paid attention to a game. I think games I typically record anywhere from like 40 to 80 plays. I think I did like 25 in this review. Like it's just so hard to care. I don't think it's like Muhammad Wilkerson level bad where guys are loafing it. We've obviously seen it this season though. Like even in week 4 or 5, whatever it was against the Cowboys, like you have Jamie Sherwood loafing it on a play. This play, I noticed it a time or two with Quincy on the goal line. He got kicked out by the fullback and he wanted no part of that block. There's maybe a chance that he got caught by the turf monster a little bit there, but he didn't want a part of that block, in my opinion. Just wants to get into free agency. And I think a lot of like the mental stuff, it's not even like the effort, it's just the lack of like attention to detail at times. That can also be like a lack of, like, while a lack of effort like physically is not showing, the lack of effort mentally I think is there with some of these guys and some of the silly mistakes they're making. And I'll show some of it, I'll lightning round like 7 or 8 plays just to show you how bad it continues to be. I've been doing this the entire season. But yeah, I think the lack of effort comes from more the mental part of the game than like the physical part of the game. In recent weeks with just making some like legitimately elementary mistakes. Like I don't know how many weeks we've shown just the simplest crap that I'm legitimately showing you, like colleges and high schools like have banjo call. Like there's certain things I'm talking about, and they're not executing. So Wolfman, I think you probably talked about this, but it's probably a thing where like he said it was like, oh crap, lack of effort. Does Woody Johnson hear about that? And then like now there's a problem with the team, so you probably walked it back because of that, in my estimation. But God, 2025 needs to end.
I mean, he looks completely lost, and it's clear no one bought in. I mean, again, Woody has to at least entertain the idea of moving on. We know he doesn't want to, but when it looks this bad, when it's this ugly, historically bad, for not just Jet standards, but like around the league standards, it's an uncomfortable conversation we have to have, because again, we're going to spend months now debating what the plan is at quarterback, which one to draft, and this coaching staff gives you no reason to feel any semblance of confidence they know what they're doing going forward.
Yeah, but people are saying, we're short-sighted and all this stuff. Again, just and you've said it for weeks now. Like, point to quite literally one thing. Like one thing. And if you want to give me the special teams thing, fine. But who's as a new coach is not going to take a Hall of Fame coach? I don't know. Actually, is Weishoff even in the Hall of Fame? One of the most respected. Let me rephrase that. One of the most respected coaches in NFL history on special teams. Of course, you're going to take his recommendations. Like, yeah, sure, give him credit for that. But like, how much credit do you really give him? It's like it's pretty stupid. but nonetheless, it's just point to one thing: the blowouts, the December differential, the starting the season off, getting blown out by division opponents, the getting blown out by there's just so much bad. Some of the decision making in game. You have the Saints clowning them last week with Taysom Hill, that last that ball. You have the timeout this week with Vrabel. He's getting disrespected. The players are clearly. I'm sure you saw the Jermaine Johnson interview where he heard about Glenn kind of question the effort, and then, he kind of like scoffs at the answer, initially. So I think he's losing everybody. How do you buy into this? So at this point, I think it's a great point to reset with a new coach, and we'll see. I'm sure there'll be discussions about who that is, but it's a thing where you have all the draft picks we have. I don't have to reiterate. We all know how many draft picks they have. We all know how much cap space they have over the next few years. I don't want to get a quarterback, ruin him for a year with Charles London, the highly touted Charles London around the league to coach up the new quarterback, and then have to have a second-year player have a completely new staff, new system around him. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't understand how you could buy into this coach at all, other than just blind optimism. There's literally nothing else other than that. And I'm not even just saying this for shock factor, but I think Adam Gase is a better coach than Glenn. At least Adam Gase, I can come on here and if you ask me the same question, Jake, you said, hey, what can you say about, Aaron or Adam Gase? Or he scores opening drive touchdowns. At least there's that. There's nothing. There's not one little snippet you could grab.
They won 7 games with that Gase team. That 2019 Jets roster is worse than this year's team that started the year 0-7. As bad as Adam Gase was, right? He was playing Luke Falk when Sam Darnold was out with mono. Justin Fields is in his 5th year. He promised he'd coach him up. He said that he's never been coached properly. We'd let him play quarterback. So he doesn't get a pass because Fields sucks. He's part of the reason why Fields, who was never good, was at his absolute worst. You're right, man. And look, Gase was terrible, and I didn't have a daily YouTube show then, but I was on the radio for SB Nation Radio in Houston during the Gase era. And man, I've never despised a coach more than I did Adam Gase. But I got to be fair. Gase won 7 games his first year. He started 1-7, and then went 6-2, and they finished 7-9. Aaron Glenn, I'm not convinced if they keep him, Joe, that they actually will win 7 total games during his time as the Jet coach.
Yeah. I don't see how it, I understand that people are going to hang on to hey, we are tanking, and this is how it's supposed to tank. But there's fans on Twitter shitting on Jets fans for being angry about how bad we're getting blown out. Nobody signed up for this necessarily. It shouldn't look like this where it's 21-0 to the Dolphins before you could take your first, your blink for the first time. This game again, I don't know if it was even 21 or 28 or 28-3, 21-3, wherever the hell the score was, but right in the beginning of the second quarter, you're down 3 touchdowns. So I don't understand the blind optimism in the defense for him. There's nothing you could say he's done well here. All the stats have been coming out, and we did a ton on JetX. In terms of his Detroit Lions defenses, there was not even great years of him being there. There was a few little instances of him doing well. I think the last year, right, he did well with a lot of injuries, but past that, he really wasn't great the years before that. It's just, I don't know, man. I think they just had to bite the bullet just like they did with Gerard Mayo. Now, do we land of Vrabel? I don't know. I've heard all the rumors about Harbaugh and Tomlin and and Stefanski. And, I know I would say I'm more lukewarm on Mike McCarthy than other people are. But at least Mike McCarthy could bring you to just a 9-10, win kind of seasons consecutively, kind of get us out of the doldrums of just this recent Jets life. So there are guys out there, and I know a lot of people say who would want to be hired here or who want to take the job. It's 1 out of 32. Realistically, you get paid generational money, and it's a thing where if you are successful here, you're gonna make a huge name for yourself. So, it might not be spot 1A, like a Ben Johnson denied coming here and stuff, but Mike McCarthy's been sitting on the couch for a couple of years. Stefanski who's gonna get most likely fired. It's I would take Saleh back over Glenn at this point. Adam Gase again, at least I can point to literally one thing he did well. I'm not even just trying to not shock value. I don't know one thing that he's done well. It hasn't been the media. It hasn't been in-game management. It hasn't been development. It hasn't been the tackling that he said he would improve. It hasn't been the penalties, which isn't necessarily a direct indicator of successful teams on defense or offense. There's actually not much correlation, but obviously you'd rather have less than more penalties. There's nothing there. I'm grasping for straws and I can't find it.
Because there isn't anything, and that's the problem. Big shout out to everyone tuned in right now. Click the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Joe Blewett is with us, and warning, we're about to get into some film from one of the most disgraceful Jet performances we've seen in franchise history. Eli, though, is at least giving 5 people a smile on their face. 5 gifted memberships. He's in.
We had a great week of practice with our guys.
Eli, you're in the raffle. We're giving away on the show on Friday 3 signed items: signed Klecko jersey, signed Revis jersey, signed Don Maynard football. Also, let's do a jersey giveaway at the end of today's show. Joe Namath, Joe Klecko, Curtis Martin, Wayne Corbett, Darrell Revis, Nick Mangold, or Keyshawn Johnson. Eli first to qualify. He's in both raffles. He's in the one at the end of the show, of course, 4-5. All right, Joe, whenever you're ready, let's start looking at what exactly happened when the Jets took the field, getting booed during player introductions because there were so many Patriots fans in the building in this debacle against New England.
Can I just pivot and say no, I'm not pulling it up. Like, is that okay? Like, I don't want it. Just did again, I'm gonna lightning round like 7 or 8 plays here, and we'll just like look at how bad some of it is and some like the silly mistakes these guys are making. I don't think I was there for player intro because I was checking out like the inside of the the seats that you sent me, so it was beautiful. I didn't even see that, but it was really weird. Like, there's been games again where fans have outnumbered the Jets fans, but they're still like loud and passionate, whatever. This is one of the first games I can remember where like Jets fans were basically getting told to sit down and shut up by Pats fans, and there's just no reaction. And also, second thing with the gifted membership shake, my God, a Vinny Testaverde jersey coming my way, and Nick Mangold. I might have to throw in more memberships today. I'm getting some bang for my buck there.
You've been cleaning up, Joe. For those who missed the raffle on the show the other day, he won the Vinny T jersey, as he just alluded to, and you won a jersey at the end of that show. You gifted, I think it was 10 memberships. So you're on a roll right now, man.
Yeah, you texted me like, oh no, it was a Vinny T jersey or whatever. I'm like, oh okay, no Mangold, I'll get the Vinny T jersey. Like, that's fine. You're like, no, you won twice. I'm like, oh shit. Like, all right, sweet, dude. So I think going to have some additions to the office right here with some some merch from the Jake Asman show. So I'm appreciative. Is it up right now, the film?
I don't see it on my end here. So if you could try again.
No, it would probably make sense for me to share it on my end. And then that'll probably do the trick. I would just stream it up. It's not even sharing it. Okay, let's see. And we should be good now.
Yep, we all can see what you're looking at. So whenever you're ready.
So I'll be honest, this is all just completely random plays. They're in chronological order of when they happen in the game. They're completely random. I threw something together quickly. I really couldn't care less about this game. It's just so bad. One, had to be there and watch them, which again, I appreciate the tickets and having to watch it from the advantage point I was, but being there, driving home, and then turning on the film the next day, it's just like, dude, nobody cares at this point, really. So I get it, people. So we'll do this relatively quickly, but simple things here. I'll play it. We're going to watch. This is Jordan Clark, Ryan Clark's son, who was then later flagged for taunting. Like, I believe it was some point in mid-second quarter where he got the taunting penalty as well. But we'll just watch him. And he's in man coverage against the slot receiver. And he lets up a chunk gain. And there's like so many little things, not even so many little things, really what you're taught to do here. And he actually plays this relatively well. Like, it's a short in breaker. He has inside leverage. He's nice and square. It looks like his eyes are low to the hips, which you want your eyes low to the hips. The head lies, the hips don't. It's kind of the saying. And he doesn't do a bad job matching the route. Right here, it's about second and let's call it 8. If this pass is completed and he just rallies and makes the tackle, you're talking about 3rd and 4-ish, which, okay, that's fine. Like, if you get beat for 3-4 yards on second down, it's completely fine. But the problem is here, the angle to the receiver is horrific. Especially now, if he were to be like hip to hip or for lack of a better term, nut to butt here, and he wants to undercut it and he can make a play on the ball and he's going to be a playmaker there, fine. But when you're this far off, you need to track the upfield shoulder, because as he turns up the field, he has to turn through the upfield shoulder. So you're gonna track the upfield shoulder, rally, make the tackle. Watch the angle here. The only point is the angle and how horrific it is to the pass catcher. That is like, again, that's like collegiate level mistakes right there from a guy in the NFL and he was a UDFA, but terrible. Good off the jump, good break, but the angle to the ball there. And again, now he's looking at the quarterback. He's not trying to match the receiver. And instead of letting up 4 yards, he lets up 20, 25 yards because of just a mental lapse by Jordan Clark there, then who again later on is going to get the taunting penalty. This one's from Cook, the interception where he just tries to force it to AD Mitchell, and really all that happens here is you have 3-by-1 with the tight end attached. Isolated down low is AD Mitchell, and I think they're in cover one here. I'll play it and I'll be able to recognize it. But I think they're in cover one, and initially Cook just reads the safety and sees that the safety is slightly drifting over top of AD Mitchell because he's the number one weapon. Decides to throw the ball anyway with the safety creeping over that way. And one, he doesn't put the ball in the right location, and two, there's not enough power on the ball. Cook does not have good arm strength. I wouldn't even call it average. It's below average to me, but. Again, you'll see it just drop back, reads the safety, holds the safety. The safety is drifting over that way, and just like do you get much easier of an interception as a safety? One, during the snap, we can kind of read that, hey, if he is looking at the safety here, we see that the safety is starting to just expand a little bit over the top of this route. So if you are going to put the ball anywhere, one, because of the safety, and two, because of the leverage of Christian Gonzalez when you're starting to when he gets his eyes down low. When he's high and high and inside, we want to put the ball low, or not necessarily low, but typically a little bit lower into the outside. So you want to throw a fade ball here. You don't want to lead him vertically. Leads him vertically, safety easily picks it. There's no heat on that ball. It's lofted up there. He gets all data underneath of it. And again, just based on the leverage here, Gonzalez to AD Mitchell, you have to put this ball back shoulder. And we see that AD Mitchell probably expects it back shoulder just based on how early he's looking back for that ball. And again, it should be here, not inside like it is. And boom, an interception for Brady Cook. So
brilliant quarterbacking.
Dude, like he showed something the first 2.5 weeks, whatever it was. Like, okay, some impressive plays. The last 2 weeks, he's been horrific. I would say the week prior to the Saints, he's probably even worse, just because there was more examples of like, oh my God, this is terrible. This game there wasn't as many, but still obviously not good. And this is not another play on offense, but this is another play where like the Jets, so they get called for an ineligible man down the field here, so the Jets accept the penalty. So this play doesn't even necessarily count, but they actually get home here on a design blitz, and Malachi Moore completely whiffs on it. And again, it's just like a little attention to detail things where I'm not going to go over the blitz and what they're doing and how they're pulling guys, because again, who cares at this point? But like the more simple things they're screwing up here for Malachi Moore. Like, you're taught, if you're going to pursue a quarterback, you don't want to go shallow here and let him go out of the, and get out of the pocket through the exterior. If anything, you want to get a little bit more depth and force him to step up. Why? Obvious reasons, right? If he steps up here, he's in trouble. If he gets outside here, he's not in trouble, So Malachi Moore, if anything, needs to take an angle that's much more high instead of shallow here. Obviously, May recognizes it and is able to get rid of the ball to Hunter Henry that picks up, a first down. There's the illegal or ineligible man downfield, but like simple things of like, let's track the quarterback properly. Like, that is way too shallow. And you're talking about a free shot and a quarterback, and I don't think does he touch him? Does he touch his hand there? Maybe, So it's just so bad. How many weeks of this? I think we've had a few positive reviews, but it feels like just 16 out of the 18 weeks this year so far. I've just been crapping on the Jets, which
the Steve Wilkes defense. I mean, it was all his fault, clearly.
Yeah, haven't they given up more points? The stats better than I do. He's given up more points the last few games than Steve Wilkes did his last few games, right?
Yeah,
and this was Glenn, who's supposed to be helping with the defense now.
Is that Eric Watts 95 in coverage, right? That's what you're showing, right? I remember watching this live being like, I cannot wait for Blewett's reaction to this.
Dude, he's an unathletic DN for just playing DN now. And I get Ramondre Stevenson's not the most athletic guy. And all he does here is it's man coverage. The Pats know it. I'm sure that he reads the post here to the running back sale. Dude, I don't know. Like, at least Will McDonald's athletic for a DN. Like, I would understand him dropping into coverage for like just a different type of look at times. It happens with DNs. You have TJ Watt who drops into coverage at times. You'll have like Myles Garrett who will drop into coverage. Like, I get that. And obviously Will McDonald wasn't playing this game, but Eric Watts is certainly a choice to be playing man coverage on quite literally anybody. Like Stevenson, my grandmother, like I wouldn't put him in man coverage on anybody, but there's nothing to this one that this is his assignment, and in terms of like breaking it down, like, do I even really need to? The hips are terrible there. He opens up way too reactionary to the outside movement, and he gets burned because he's a super, super unathletic defensive end in general. And now he's in man coverage. on the second read here on the running back sale. Where it's like
so easy. Like the Jets gave Drake May an MVP award on Sunday because Stafford didn't have a great game last night. So now May's the betting favorite because he got the stat pad against the worst Jet team we've ever watched. I mean, it's unreal. Like this is like if you had like someone playing Quinnen Williams in a movie, like watching like fake Quinnen Williams number 95 out there, like in coverage for the Jets. Like, what are we doing? How is this a good schematic decision by Glenn and Chris Harris here? It doesn't matter. I get that. But like, again, it's just like Eric Watts is trying to cover Ramondre Stevenson. What are we doing?
Exactly. I understand if it's almost any other like defensive end, like even McGregor has more athleticism than him. JJ, like I just, and there's going to be some reps, perhaps some DNs in coverage, but Eric Watts, man, like you said, like he looks like that like fake NFL player in like a Progressive commercial or something like that, where he's kind of just like standing to the side with the helmet on, like he's just the most like generic NFL defensive line. It's just, again, he was supposed to be helping with this defense and it's only gotten worse, and nobody cares about your fantasy team, right, Jake? But of course I was playing the combination in the championship of Drake May and the Pats defense. The Jets did not help me out in any way there. He had 5 touchdowns before he came out somewhere in the midpoint of the third quarter, right?
5:50 to go in the third quarter.
I'm thankful for that. But my God, we have Eric Watts in man coverage on Ramondre Stevenson. Again, certainly a choice. And here now we have like more like just lack of attention to detail at points here. And we have, I believe it's Stevenson's right here, and he's in man coverage on Diggs, who's in motion, and you're going to see that to the top right here that Malachi Moore is I'm 99.9% sure he's calling for a banjo, which we've talked about, first in, first out. So as they align, as if he goes in quickly, it's Stevens. If he goes out quickly, it's going to be Malachi Moore. So that's literally what it is. It's a banjo call. It's for defenses. So there's not rubs and picks that set in and all this stuff. So Malachi Moore calls it well, and he takes the first out here in Diggs. And then you have Stevens, who's supposed to be on, I believe that's Hunter Henry, unless it's Austin Hooper. But Stevens either doesn't hear the call, doesn't understand it, whatever it may be. He jumps to the outside, never matches. I do believe it is Hunter Henry. At least it looks like Hunter Henry. It looks like 8-5. So initially goes to match the first out with Malachi Moore. That's his assignment. Gets beat by Hunter Henry. You have the safety, who's at this point, who is it? Probably Dean Clark, Jordan Clark, whoever the safety is in this instance. You're playing with a bunch of UDFAs, but he goes to match, drop down on it. But you have the post right here. I believe it's like a post from the bottom side of the field that picks him as well. So you have a guy who's just wide open for a touchdown because of a blown banjo call. And this is stuff that's legitimately done in, I would say, upper high schools, but definitely in college you have banjo calls, and Stevens doesn't even get close to executing right there. Again, just pay attention to Malachi Moore there. Like he called for something, tapping his helmet like that. So other instances of the Jets defense just not being able to play competent football.
I love this team, man. I really do. Quick super chat, then we'll finish up with this film debacle. Get the calls as well.
Yep.
Bill writes in, great job, guys. Jets will never be more attractive with all the assets they have in picks and money. Woody needs to hire an offensive head coach for rookie QB. Jake, I'm waiting on the Joe B signed Pavia jersey to raffle off. LOL. Happy New Year. I want everyone to love something as much as Joe Beningo loves Diego Pavia. I'll work on that for Joe, Bill, if the Jets end up taking him. My God. As far as your super chat, though, Bill, I'm with you 100%. If they do move on from Glenn, it needs to be an offensive coach. I prefer someone with experience on that side of the ball, like Mike McCarthy or Cliff Kingsbury. But, again, Clint Kubiak, Josh McCown, the Packers, Ofi, Stanovich. I'm open to someone that's going to work with this quarterback because that's the biggest thing for the Jets going forward.
Yeah, probably the biggest names right now are like Kubiak. You got Brady, right? We have McCarthy. You have Stefanski. I'm sure there's some others. I think I said McCarthy, right? But there's like 4 or 5 guys on like offensively who we could be looking at. I prefer to go with a little bit younger of a coach who's more in kind of in tune with what's going on in today's league. I remember like looking at McCarthy a little bit. I think in 2019, again, I could say I wasn't the biggest fan with like how stagnant the offenses were and like lack of motion and stuff like that. But with that being said, that could have been Rodgers as well when he was with them because Rodgers doesn't like motion and all that stuff. So I'd prefer to go the younger route. Like I'd probably prefer like a Kingsbury or a Brady over a guy like McCarthy just for the upside. Yeah, definitely lean towards offense, right? And a guy who's a nerdy X's and O's guy, and I don't give a shit about the rah type stuff. I think the rah stuff is like 5 to 10% of what matters in coaching, where like 90% of it's like X's and O's and stuff. Liam Cohen, not the biggest rah guy, and the Jags are about to win like 12, 13 games, wherever they're at. So yeah, it's just so brutal. But I only got 3 plays left because again, who wants to watch this? But this one, I kind of threw it in here randomly. It's just kind of funny that and Ruckert's been better this year. He's been much better. So in terms of like guys who've actually improved, I think Ruckert's actually probably like the primary one for the carryovers who have improved. But in this play, it doesn't do well. I believe they fake like an inside zone or a mid zone split right here where he's going to sift underneath the formation. Membu's going to block down, and then he's going to be responsible for the D end one-on-one, which is not the most advantageous position for Ruckert, but he's been handling those type of assignments pretty well this year. DN pinches down. You have Ruckert who completely oversets it. Obviously, just got to read how hard he's pinching down right there and have to be more in control of your feet. You have Brady Cook who's trying to break out of a sack. He kind of does and then throws it to Ruckert's helmet. It's just like, is there a more Jets play than this? A guy whiffing on a block, not getting a hand on him. Quarterback's going down, throws it into his face, bounces on the ground. It's just like this is your 2025 Jets right here. Just completely blowing plays, man. Like I don't even know what to say at this point with this team. I'm very excited. I'm sure as you in the chat are to never watch this crap again. So there we are. There's another just embarrassing play.
I love it. Do you have the play where Cook committed the intentional grounding? That was the funniest throw of the entire season.
Yeah, that one too. Like you have Ruckert. I believe it was Ruckert who was in line blocking, and all he has to do there because Ruckert's eligible, all he has to do is throw it at Ruckert's feet, and instead he like chucks it, all the way across the field out of bounds while he's still in the tackle box. I don't have that play because like, what is there to say about that one? Just like have better awareness, but. My God. Then there's only two more here, and these are both really simple. Again, it was just so bad that I really lacked recording a lot of plays here. But he's going to go to Eddie Mitchell to the top right here on a speed out, and it's just an example of him. Just one, you can see the arm. There's little to no arm power in his throws. Like just look how softly that ball is thrown out there, and that comes with like watching a lot of like film in terms of like just being able to notice arm strength. But that ball is lofted, and look how far it is behind AD Mitchell. Like one, we have a corner who's off. He's going to read 1 to 2. I believe this is an out too. He's going to read 1 to 2 right there, and the pass is so far behind Mitchell. He has no chance to catch that ball. It's just like the simplest things. We're talking about a speed out. You're probably down by 3 touchdowns at this point, and we can't complete a 5-yard speed out. Like we're bouncing it behind him. Terrible there. And then the last one I have is a miss on 3rd and 6 to him. Let's see. It looks like this is going to be cover 8, which is cover 8 is just quarter half, but quarter half is typically with quarters to the passing strength, where cover 8 is just going to be cover 2 to the passing strength. So it looks like it could be cover 8, where it's 2 to the top. And just for the nerdy people out there, it looks like it may be a palms here to the top. The way he opens up and is potentially looking at the 2, it could be a 2 with a palms tag on it, but. Nonetheless, which is basically if it was palms, like going to cover 2 or like a 2 read. If the 2 breaks out, he's going to jump that, and then the 1 is going to get over top of the 1 here. So that's basically what a palms is. And there's different, for different route combinations, there's different ways they play it. But that's basically what a palms is meant to do, to jump the 2. But nonetheless, here. You have AD Mitchell who is breaking inside on the in route, and I understand not wanting to throw into the hook the curl linebacker here, so you don't want to lead him into him, but you got to put the ball on AD Mitchell. And again, look where the ball is. Like he has no shot here really, unless he makes a hell of an adjustment to catch that ball. It's so far behind him. And again, I get not wanting to lead him to the linebacker, but you have to throw this ball on time, which it is on time, but you got to put it on him. So 3rd and 6 there, and Cook with another. Showing of terrible inaccuracy, and we punt. So what else is new?
Jets football, where punting never stops.
that's all I have at this point. Like I don't know, man. One more game of reviewing this stuff, and we're done.
I doubt we're even doing a film because by next week, I'm sure we'll be discussing whatever happens on Black Monday or lack thereof. And
You're right.
Full speed ahead into the offseason.
And I think actually doesn't Dante Moore play on January 1st? Isn't that Dante Moore's game?
Yeah, next film review will be Dante Moore film review, and then we'll do Mendoza and Ty Simpson film review too.
Yep, no doubt. I'd much rather do that than watch the Jets. It's, I don't want to do it. I can't imagine people in the chat. Like, who wants to watch that?
No, I'll tell you what though, Joe. We appreciate your reviews all year round. So make sure everyone in the chat and everyone not watching live but watching after, comment your appreciation for Joe. He does a great job making us smarter football fans of this god-awful team. Again, jersey giveaway at the end of the show today. Keyshawn, Mangold, Revis, Corbett, Martin, Klecko, and Namath are your choices. When you enter to win any of those jerseys, you're also automatically qualified in Friday's weekly raffle for a signed Maynard ball, Revis jersey, and Klecko jersey as well. Comments, questions, super chats, you guys know the drill. They cut the line. Curly, who was in New Orleans to watch a wonderful Jet performance 2 weeks ago, he says it's not about the X's and O's, Aaron Glenn, bottom 3 head coach in Jet history. If Woody sticks with this guy, we are staying on the hamster wheel of poverty. Again, I think anyone who still believes it's going to work with Glenn, you're just hoping, right? Like, there's no tangible evidence at this point. So, Curly, I can't say you're wrong for feeling that way. I think that's where a lot of the fan base are, unfortunately.
Again, legitimately, I would like to hear one positive thing I can hang on to, other than hope and whatever else it may be. They've been blown out in 4 weeks in a row. And I know some people will argue like the Dolphins game, the Bucks game early, that they weren't blown out. I might be a little bit more contrary to that, just because like it took miracles for them to get back in the Bucks game. Todd Bowles took his foot off the gas. The big play by Will McDonald. And the Dolphins game, they were down 2 scores most of that game, and then came back really late with the onside kick. But they're never really in that game late, unless you get an onside kick, which is like, 10% chance, or maybe even less. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but they and again, I specifically remember earlier in the season after they got blown out versus the Bills, like, hey, they can only have 1 or 2 more of these the entire season, and it's been 6, 7 more, like just absolute blowouts. We're literally halfway through the first quarter, they're down 2 touchdowns in almost every one of these games. So I don't understand. Again, there's no better time to hire a new coach. One, because you're not ruining the quarterback for that year. And I get, you could say, oh, in 2027 they'll have more assets, which is true, but why not use the ones in 2026 too? Like, I'm sure they'd rather be the coach like now than wait until 2027 when Glenn brings in a bunch of guys for a system, ruins the quarterback, offensive system that the quarterbacks then have to learn a new one the next year. It's just, there's no better time than now, in my opinion. Just dump it all, just restart. Does Woody have the balls to do it?
I don't think so. But again, I went from saying there's no chance he'd be fired when they made the trades. It's like, obviously they're committed to him for another year, but this has been so bad. It is starting to get a lot louder from not just like, us batting it around on the show, but a lot of people in the mainstream media, a lot more conversation on sports talk radio, and even like nationally, it's becoming more of a story too. And we know Woody does pay attention to that. So again, is he back? Gun to my head, I will say yes. I believe that is a mistake. If he's back, of course, we will root for him, and hopefully he proves us wrong, and he's a great coach because we're Jet fans. But I will say I went from maybe like 0% to like, it's not 0. I don't know what number it's at, but it's certainly not 0 that he's safe. Like, if they really get destroyed by Mitch Trubisky playing the most of that game on Sunday against the Bills, like I don't know, like, if Woody could actually go through with keeping this guy around for another year. It's been that bad.
Well, if the one play that Mitch Trubisky came in for the Jets earlier in the season, an indication of how he's going to do this game, then hey, he's like 1 for 1 for 30 yards on Sauce to what is it? Palmer. Josh Palmer, I believe that ball was to on third down to Sauce. So if that's any indication, he'll light up our defense. But yeah, I think the chances is still pretty low in my opinion. I wish it was 100%, but like, gun to my head right now, maybe it's like 10% chance, 15% chance. Maybe I could be convinced of higher, but it's just going to be hard. Like, going into next year, let's say they get Dante Moore at 2. Let's just throw out a name, or Simpson, whatever it is. Let's just say Dante Moore, because it seems like more people like him. You're going into 2026 with Dante Moore, a seemingly tough schedule, and then like if it's Glenn and Charles London. Like Charles London's the primary guy in his ear. Like, we're going to go in with like a lack of faith right off the jump. And like, the new quarterback typically instills like an injection of like just excitement to a fan base. But I'm not going to be that excited. I'll be honest. It'll be fun to watch him. It'll give me something to watch instead of this garbage, because half the guys I'm watching I know are not even going to be here next year. But I'm going to be so just. I have no optimism with the new quarterback either, which is so unfortunate. So I'm hoping that they could get rid of this staff and actually inject some like life into me and this fan base.
Dylan with a great point. We wasted a great offensive line health year and elite special teams year. This year hurts the soul. Again, like there's so many excuses people want to make for why this team sucks. And like people are like, oh, well, the offensive line. It's like they've actually had competent O-line play for. No one's saying this is the 2009 Jets O-line, but they got players there, man. They've had health there, continuity. The special teams is the reason why they have 3 wins. They'd probably have 0 or maybe 1 without how good the special teams unit has been this year. Like this team really is awful, and no one thought they were going to be great. But there are plenty of people calling into the show saying 7, 8, 9 wins. You had a couple people thinking they were going to be 10-7. And again, we know what we're seeing is not right. We understand that they're not doing everything in their power to win when you play Brady Cook. But anyone who's objective and is just watching this team, who doesn't see that there's some major red flags with retaining this coach, I don't know, man. I don't know how anyone could be confident.
Yeah, it's just like I see this sometimes, and not to relate it to like something kind of more dark, but it's like beaten and battered wives, dude. It's like you keep getting just beat down by this husband, the New York Jets, and it's just consistently making mistakes. Like, we're gonna change, like it's okay, but it's not. Like, I got some news for you. It's typically not gonna be okay. You know, like again, if there were signs, if the team was fighting for him, if they were close in these games, I get it. But like making excuses for this coach is wild. And I get there's a bunch of UDFAs and a UDFA quarterback, but like other teams compete with UDFAs. You know, the Chiefs quarterback just played decently well, and he's like a third stringer who's like off the bench from Buffalo, right? Like there are second, third string quarterbacks who come in and at least compete. I'm not asking for the Jets to beat the Pats, who are like the top of the AFC East right now, or the AFC in general. But I would at least like to see some fight in these games. And even if not the Pats, like you got blown out versus the Saints, who are what, they have 4 wins going into the Jets game. I believe unless it was 3-4, whatever exactly it was, but they're more of a bottom feeder type team. You get blown out versus them. Miami blown out versus them. All your division opponents blown out. It's just, what else do you say? I know you've been doing this for 4 hours a day. I can't even imagine. And some of the hate I see you get on Twitter for questioning this. And I got it today too. Like, oh, instant gratification generation. It's like, fine. If that's what you want to call me, that's you. But again, point to one thing that I can hang my hat on with this guy. Again, Gase, I can at least hang on open drive scripts, So I legitimately think that Adam Gase is a better coach than Glenn at this point. And I think if people say, if they're going to be like super contrary to them, like, oh, Blewett's an idiot, that's fine. But his team's more competitive with less talent than Aaron Glenn's team were. Even in that year that we went, 2 wins or 2-14, whatever it was, were we blown out this? I can't specifically remember because it's been so long, but I don't think we were blown out this much. Like, we're about to have the largest point differential in Jets history. We have the biggest point differential in December in NFL history, and like Dylan said, and we're wasting offensive line being consistently healthy. I know, Simpson's come out for a snap or 2 every other couple of games. But in general, they've been very, very healthy. Special teams has been elite, and we have 3 wins to show for it. So bring in somebody else, please, God.
It's tough to argue with any of that. It's just, it really is. Black Gypsy says they quit playing. It's obvious. I played football. I could tell when the team quits and they quit. I mean, those who were at the game, you were there. I've heard from so many people the last couple of days, just the body language of the guys on the sideline is just, it's terrible. And again, when Jermaine Johnson is like scoffing at a question about effort, and he was a guy who was like all in earlier in the year, vouching for Glenn, and it just, seriously, if he lost the team, we're going to see it on Sunday. And then Woody's going to have to act if it's like a bloodbath against a Bills team that is going to sit a lot of their starters probably after a quarter. Yeah, regardless of what JJ said, that scoff at the beginning of that question showed you everything that he actually thought. So I don't think he wants to be back. Who would? And Breece Hall, I'm sure, doesn't want to be back after this game. I know there were some questions about him playing late he was playing in the fourth quarter when the Jets getting blown out by 3-4 scores, whatever exactly it was there. I'm sure he doesn't want to be back. He's, it's not by chance that he's praising, I think, the Bears in terms of how easy they made it, a touchdown look or something like that on social media after the game. And then you'd probably lose those guys. And at what point is Garrett Wilson, after another year or two of this, going to be like, dude, like, get me out of here? Like, I know he's, the Jets until the wheels fall off type stuff, but like, how much more can Garrett Wilson take too?
It just sucks that like that 2022 draft class that we were all so excited about, and JJ and Saw, like they're all going to be gone, and it amounted to nothing. So like, it's just so evident that we need obviously head coach, quarterback. I'm sure you've talked about 1,000 times how quickly it can change when you get those combinations. The Colts went from like a 2-win team to like a 9 or 10-win team when they got Luck. When they drafted him, it happens all the time with Lawrence, with Caleb Williams. It happens every year. Jaden Daniels. So you really need a head coach.
Ryans. I lived it in Houston.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans were in a way worse spot. They won and done 2 coaches in back-to-back years. They got D'Amico, drafted Stroud. And now they've won a playoff game the last 2 years. They've won 10 or more games, 3 straight years. We'll see what they do now this year in the playoffs. Like we don't need to pretend like this is like a multi-year rebuild, 3 years to put. Like again, Sean Payton with Bo Nix in year 2 was in the playoffs. Now look at them this year. Like good coaching. Robbie always talks about this. I use the line all the time now. Good coaching smacks you in the face. Like we know Banjo's doing a good job taking guys none of us have heard of on the bottom of the roster and look at the Jets special teams. You cannot confidently sit here and say that Aaron Glenn has any idea what he is doing or inspires any confidence in him being the right guy for this team going forward.
Yeah. And the good coach, it's more like bad coaching is smacking us consistently in the face, especially on defense. A guy who's supposed to be a defensive expert. I come on
They
here.
don't have an interception yet, Joe. I cannot, like, again, 16 games, 0 picks, and Glenn was a corner. He was a great ball hawk cornerback.
And like, and dude, like, does everything change, like the butterfly effect, if Stevens catches that week 1 pick against Aaron Rodgers and returns it home but more than likely the Jets buy into that. They get blown out versus the Bills anyway, and it goes downhill from there. But it's just crazy. Yeah, no picks. What's the longest streak? It's like 15 games, I believe it is. I think that carries from season to season.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So an entire season, no picks. It's going to carry. I'm 100% rooting at this point for no picks in this game. I want them to be historically bad. I want them to get blown out, and hopefully, Woody sees the light at the end of the tunnel with this coach, and is going to get rid of him. Because there's literally nothing, the fact I'm saying Aaron, and I legitimately believe that Gase is a better coach than Glenn. And regardless, you want to say he's the worst, he's worse than Gase, he's worse than Kotite. He's in that conversation with those guys, which will tell you all you need to know. We are historically bad in terms of the numbers we're producing this year. So I just don't understand the buy-in,
Comments, questions, super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give some love to Paul Faz, always supporting the channel. He gifted 5 memberships, which puts him in the raffle with 5 entries. Give him a hug, Woody.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Paul, thank you as always, man. If you got a membership, make sure you thank him. Let's do some calls. If you want to hang out with Joe and I, now is certainly the time to be a part of the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, first up today on the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline is...
Oh, shit. Hey, Jake. Hey, Joe.
Peter.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Well, I'll tell you, I was very excited about the season when it started. I thought that as he was talking about Fields, he was going to have a running offense. He was going to play smash mouth football. We're going to have maybe Braylon Allen, Breece Hall in the backfield with Justin Fields with a little misdirection. With a little good scheming, it would open up the passing game for Justin Fields, make it easier. But then he turned the Justin Fields into a pocket passer, and he's just stunk altogether. All right? And Glenn also said in the beginning of the year that he was a coach for the whole team. He was going to coach the whole team. All right? Then when it got to game 12, he said that Wilkes' defense is no good. Well, what was he doing? Did he make any suggestions about the defense? Like, you're doing something wrong here, let's correct it? He hasn't done a damn thing. Sunday, he looked like a zombie on the sidelines. A zombie. I think that he knows he's getting fired. I mean, he has nothing in him. There's nothing there. You cannot have this kind of draft with this kind of capital and have this guy running the show. He's not made for it. I mean, I like him. He's a nice guy and everything. He's not a head coach. He's just not a head coach. And you can't make this. They keep making the same mistake over and over again. You want to know something? Get Joe Brady from the Buffalo Bills or that other guy from Seattle. Forgot what's his name?
Kubiak.
Kubiak. Get one of these young offensive coordinators. Put him in there. Let him pick a defense. I can get a better defensive coordinator than Wilks. I mean, we all know off the top of our head, and really, Jake, you should ask Tannenbaum for a refund for the money that we spent on the 33rd team for this stiff, because he stinks. He has no clue what he's doing. No clue. I've seen Weeb Eubank all the way down to this coach. This is the worst coach we've ever had in Jet history. He's worse than Kotite. He's worse because his attitude is so bad. Now he's mellowing out with the press because he's been beaten down. But he's terrible. He's done nothing. Everybody on this team has digressed. Nobody has gotten better. The only people that are good on this team are the special teams, which is Banjo, which got hired by Westhoff, not by him. He's the one that made the suggestion. He has done nothing. Our defensive line, JJ and O'Donnell, have digressed. We have no offense. Anstram's got to go, too. He's got to go. He has no imagination. He has no imagination for anything. And I don't care about the quarterback. He knows what he had. He never used them properly. He never did. And even with this kid, Brady Cook, you got to make him run sometimes. You got to design some plays for him. He doesn't do it. This team is never going to win with this group that they have now. It's as bad as last year with Salah and Hackett and the rest. This is even worse. It's even we even went digressed as far as that goes, if you can believe it. But they got to make the changes, Jake. They have to. Joe, your film reviews are great. Very good. And you know what? It's sickening to watch because I couldn't even watch it. I watched a half and I jumped in the pool to cool off. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, he's sitting on the sidelines at the end of the game. He looks like a zombie. Mm-hmm. Does he know there's a game going on? He's not even talking to these kids anymore. I don't know. I don't know what you guys see, but what I see is a big mistake.
Peter, Happy New Year. Great call. Love the passion.
Happy New Year.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Yeah. And it's a good point. What is like in the gym? Like, what does he do? So he doesn't help out the offense. He doesn't help out the defense. So like for 8 to 12 hours a day, what does he do? Like that's
Thank you. People think I'm kidding when I say, okay, we know Woody has said he gives him a hug every day. So after the hug in the morning, roughly, let's say 8:05 a.m., what happens after? And people think I'm being like a dick saying, I'm being honest. Like, what is he actually doing after the Woody Johnson hug?
It's Wilkes' defense. He said that. God was just trying to scapegoat himself, just like kind of Peter mentioned. He doesn't help out with offense. And it's like funny that Peter mentioned too, like at least he comes in the beginning with like rah stuff. And I bought in a little bit, I'm not going to lie, to the rah stuff with the media. And now he's backing down off of that because he's
like, we all wanted this to work too. Like even me who didn't want a first-time coach, like he was a Jet. He wanted the job. We all like, I moved my win total prediction from 4 to 6 because I bought into what he was. I'm like, man, he's really shitting on Scala and the staff. Like he must really think he's going to come in like, and just fix it. Like he's so confident. He's just gonna like, all right, I'll buy in. Like I literally gave them 2 extra wins because he was doing so much shit talking over the summer. I'm like, shit, I'm a Jet fan. I'll buy in. Let's go. Like,
now he's dead on the sideline, like you said, on the sideline in that game, like looking at it, like everybody's just moping, heads down, not talking to each other. So there's no buy-in for the team. The X's and O's aren't there. The timeouts aren't there. The stuff in the media is not there.
Dude, how about the 2 fake punts on the same drive? Just go for it on 4th and 3 and don't run another fake punt.
They went for 2 fake punts and did they even get past the 50-yard line? I don't know if they got past the 50-yard line on that. They were close, I think, but you get a fake punt, and you still don't even get to the 50. Like it was just so bad. So yeah, a bunch of zombies walking around, and I do think it's overrated. Like if you're stoic on the sideline, or if you have a ton of energy, because Bill Belichick didn't say a word, he won. You know, you have guys who are energetic, Pete Carroll, and he wins, so it doesn't really matter that much to me. But obviously, Glenn was more of the rah guy, and he's just been nerfed because the team is losing so many games. And again, I don't know what he does for 8 to 12 hours a day. Peter said it. He's seen all these coaches, and this is the worst he's seen. And I don't think Peter's just being a prisoner of the moment because legit. And I didn't really see Kotite because that was like what, late 90s, so I was like 5-6 years old. But with Gase again, like at least there was something with Gase. So I think he's just as bad, if not worse. You're giving him, $200 million over the next 2 years with 5 first-round draft picks, 3 second-round draft picks at this point, to rebuild the roster in his way. And then the new coach is going to have to come in most likely and rebuild it again. But like you said before, like it does not, like everybody acts like, oh, it takes 5 years to rebuild. It does not. Like it really does not. And this is not the 2020 Jets. They have no talent. They have some talent. You get the right coach, the right quarterback next year, the Jets can win 8-9 games, or maybe even more. Like it happens. That year that Jaden Daniels come in, and I get he had a really, really good rookie season, but they were projected to be like a 3 or 4 win team that year, like bottom of the NFL. They went to the conference championship game. So I'm not even asking for that. But if you get a good coach, good quarterback, they could be sniffing 8, 9, maybe 10 wins, a wild card berth. Like that is possible. So can we stop acting like every 3 or 4 years it's going to take another 5 years to rebuild this team? It's just unequivocally not true. It's all about coach and quarterback. Look at the Pats. Perfect example.
Pats, Texans. Look at the Commanders. You just brought them up. Denver in their second year with a rookie quarterback in that second year made the playoffs. Like the Saints. The Saints are well coached. Kellen Moore is doing a good job. Like that's what we wanted to see the Jets be this year. Reasons to think we got the coach, and then we move from there. It's just, it drives me crazy. Now, I haven't even played this yet. I got to get your thoughts as someone who watches the film on all these games. I tweeted it out. I had to mute the notifications because it was nuts. It has over 1 million views on my Twitter account. Everyone was so focused on Glenn walking back the effort comments. We stayed on this show and watched the rest of that presser. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So Glenn's always talking about his brand, right? We want our brand to show up on tape, our identity. And someone asked him, hey, coach, like, what's an example of, like, your brand on tape? And he referenced the Jaguar game and specifically how they ran the ball in the third. I'm just going to play the clip. This, again, is what he cited as the example he could come up with on his brand.
Talk about your brand and stuff like that. How often have you seen it, and how do you, I don't know, how do you get it to be seen more consistently?
Yeah, well, there was we were playing Jacksonville, and I showed the team this, and if you guys go and watch the way that we ran the ball against Jacksonville, I thought it was very, very impressive on us controlling the line of scrimmage, us running the ball, being physical, being violent. It was actually after the third quarter. It was 12 seconds. We ran the ball. Our guys got into a shoving match. The quarter ends. Then we go down. We have a hell of a run on a physical play, and then we score a touchdown. And then we had other runs after that, and we had the passes that Brady was actually starting to get into a rhythm against Jacksonville. That was the brand of football that I want our guys to see, and I showed the whole team that. Right, defensively, I mean, there were some games early in the season that we were really, really like stymie as far as stopping the run and playing the pass. I showed our guys that. That's the brand that we want to play with. And sometimes you have to show your guys things so it can be remembered on this is how we play. And listen, I understand to the outside world, people might not understand that, but our guys know exactly what our brand is. We just have to do it consistently.
What?
Can you imagine being an NFL player and you're trying to like buy into this team, and he walks in and shows you tape from when you're down like 35-10 to Jacksonville, a few good runs? Can you imagine? And it's probably part of the reason where like these players are like, what is going on here? Which, by the way, Jake just went out, so I'm going to take over for a minute here. But yeah, like I can't imagine being an NFL player and this guy walks in, he's like, hey, okay, we were down 35-10. Here are a few good runs that we had on offense. This is our brand of football. It's like, it's been historically bad. Jake, did you tap the floor too hard there again?
Joe, off air, what happened? My mic cut out, so I didn't get to hear all of your answer. But again, they lost 48-20 in that game, and they were down 31-10 at halftime. And he's citing a moments in the third quarter in garbage time as the reference of their brand. Like,
yeah,
go back and like I went back and like watched that drive. I'm like, okay, like Isaiah Davis made a nice play and they scored a touchdown. Like that's what we're going to highlight in a game where you fired your defensive coordinator afterwards because it was so bad. And then in that answer, you're going to talk about how there's been moments where the defense has played well. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, not even referencing a win. Like, not even going back to like the Falcons game or the Bengals game, like a moments they showed fight, or the Bucks game, they fought back at the end, like nothing like that. And really the only thing I said was like, just imagine being a player where he's like trying to hype you guys up and this is our brand. And he turns on the film from the Jaguars game and it's 31-10 and he shows you like 3 good runs. And he's like, this is our brand. It's like really. So I know Woody is an idiot, but is he that dumb? Like, does he hear that quote and go like, really, dude, like the Jags game where we got absolutely blown out? That's what you're referencing to the type of team we are. So, I don't know how that's his I don't know how that's his reference. He's changed so many times, like the big chips and not a team that you're proud of right now. I didn't say right now, even though you definitely said or indicated right now, so literally nothing. And the media is even getting worse too. It's just, which I really don't care about. Like I know people talk about like the media and the sidelines and all that stuff. Like none of this would matter if he was actually winning and stuff. And then obviously he'd have more bravado. He wouldn't be like going back on his word and stuff. But at the end of the day, this just like it compounds the fact that he's also an awful head coach. 60 minutes on the sidelines. So it just makes it that much worse when he's a joke in the media as well. And again, it's not like you said, it's not even a thing where it's just like the local guys. It's like national media just consistently shitting on the Jets, which has always happened, but even more so this year because they're seeing it from afar. Like this is just terrible.
It's so reminiscent to what happened with Gerard Mayo. It's scary. The difference is we have an owner who doesn't have a clue, so I'm not confident Woody will make the right decision. But a year ago, Gerard Mayo called the Patriots soft and then had to walk it back the next day. That's literally what Glenn did this week. Like, we're in Gerard Mayo territory. Again, if Woody Johnson wanted to fire Aaron Glenn after this game on Sunday, he'd be justified in doing it. Do I think he does it? Gun to my head, I still would say no. But again, like that's how bad this has been. Don't tell me they're tanking. They started 0-7, and they've been uncompetitive. And I feel like the team has now tuned him out, and that's a major concern going forward.
Yeah, that's been like the people's main defense too. It's been like, oh, well, he got rid of Q and Sauce. What do you expect? It's like we were blown out with them on the team. Like we got beat by 2 or mostly 2 scores to the Dolphins with them. We got blown out by the Bills with them. We got blown out versus the Cowboys with them. So they weren't making an impact either. And you see them go to Sauce has been injured like all the games. But Q goes to another team, immediately gets a pick, immediately gets a sack. Like he's playing better. So yeah, don't give me they're trying to tank excuse. It's not supposed to be this bad. There's no way.
I mean, literally, it's never happened where a team had a worse December from a point differential standpoint than the Jets.
Yeah, they're not the worst team of all time in December. That's I could say that at least confidently.
Cincy Mad Check saying O'Donnell and Amsterdam, classic Castro call. Yeah, Peter Castro was butchering name after name, and I loved every second of it. Also, don't take Burrow. I don't think you have to worry about that, Cincy Matt. One, I don't think Joe Burrow is going to be traded. And then 2, Joe Burrow has a full no trade. So even if the Jets inquired, why would he waive his no trade to play for Aaron Glenn and the Jets? Like, there's just no way he would ever say, yup, let me leave Cincinnati where there's bad ownership. And yes, let me go play for a coach who's perceived to be on the hottest of seats if he survives this going into year 2.
Yeah.
Let me go play for that guy. It's not happening.
Yeah. One, you're going from a terrible franchise in the Bengals to a terrible franchise in the Jets, if not even worse, probably worse, obviously. And with that too, like, and it's something I've always said, even just like signing up to play for the Jets, like the money you're taking away from yourself, just in terms of taxes too, like that's a big thing about New York, where a lot of your money is taken when you're playing at MetLife Stadium. So you also have to consider the money. I'm not sure how the money is different in terms of like taxes in Ohio versus the Jets. But like, let's say the Dolphins wanted to sign him, $50 million a year in Miami, you might be getting $45 million that a year. And obviously, agents, whatever else. With the Jets, that $50 million might be like 30, 35, it's like you're taking a hit cap wise to play for the Jets over some other teams, because like New Jersey, New York, and California and stuff, all the taxes are so high. So that's something else to consider. Bad franchise, directionless at this point, coach in the hot seat. Why would he ever come here? So I don't think that's going to happen. I've heard some Lamar stuff. I don't think that's going to happen either. I know people are, this might sound stupid. The Harbaugh stuff I've seen a little bit. I would sign up for Harbaugh. I don't know if I'm trading like multiple first round picks for Harbaugh, just because, and correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm not the most knowledgeable guy with all the other NFL teams. I'll admit that. But Harbaugh is not a guy that like calls plays and stuff, right? He's like a special teams guy who's more of like the raw overall, like he's more of like a leader type where he's not really X's and O's. So my question is, with Harbaugh, he comes in, if he doesn't bring in the right coordinators, what are we doing here? See,
I actually would trust him to hire the right coordinator, but you're right. Like, again, but like there's only again, I want someone who's an offensive guy that will call plays. I will make an exception for Harbaugh and Tomlin, because those guys are proven program builders who can get the Jets out of the gutter. They can stabilize things. that's kind of where I'm at because I agree with you. There is, I guess, some risk. I wouldn't trade everything, but I'd flip the Colts pick in a second this year. Pick 18 for Harbaugh as my coach. Like Denver traded for Sean Payton. Do you think they regret doing that? You got to get the coach.
Yeah. A first, I would do it. 2 first, I think I'm probably leaning no, just because again, he's not like the Ben. I'm not even saying they're in his class yet, but in terms of he's not like the new class of Ben Johnson's, Liam Cohen's and stuff. But obviously, I'd take anybody over Glenn. I don't think it's going to happen with Harbaugh. He's a long track record of success. So I think he most likely stays. But I think the names we've been talking about with the Brady's, the Kubiaks, all of those guys are Kingsbury. He's a guy who, he's failed before, but I like I'm not necessarily saying I like that he failed, but he's had some time to learn from it. Obviously, he's been developing Jaden Daniels, who has been performing really well when he's healthy. So I think we're looking more towards those names, and I don't think the Harbaughs or Tomlins are super realistic, but obviously I would be first in line for some of those guys. It's just how much do you actually give up?
More of your calls right now. Joe, we got quite the treat on the line. He doesn't call often these days, but when he does, you never know where the conversation's going to go.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Oh, hi, Jake. I'm back.
Lane.
Oh, hello, Joe. Last name?
What's up, Lane?
Good. So, the Jets are not going to do it good. Now, how do you feel? You think, who should the Jets take? Should they take Francisco Mendoza?
What about Fernando?
Fernando Mendoza.
Francisco would be a good option, too, if he could sling it.
Yeah, or who else could the Jets pick up? Because I know that the Jets have Stallworth, and they also have Myers that they just signed. But
Mike Myers?
No, just Myers. His last name is what's his last name?
Myers' last name?
Yeah, but how do you feel? You think that the Jets pick up somebody else if they don't get Mendoza?
What about Joe last name as an option at quarterback, Lane?
Maybe. How about Lane they could draft? How about Lane Kerner? He could be
I would
good.
take you. Lane, would you have any interest in playing for the Jets?
Yeah.
What position would you play?
QB.
Okay.
Oh, Lane, I need to see some film of you throwing the ball around the backyard. So if you could provide us some film of you throwing some deep balls in the backyard, I'd be appreciative.
Yeah, see, this is me throwing.
There's no ball in your hand.
It looks accurate. Hey, Lane, put your phone up against something so we can see your drop back. All right, we need to see your cadence. Green 19. Green 19, hot. Can.
Well,
Yeah.
something happened.
There we go.
Yeah, so I'm doing good. I do like the Charles video of him working in the restaurant with he's singing.
The Charles video of him working at
No,
the
working
restaurant.
forgot that video was funny though, of him working in was it Applebee's?
It could be Applebee's.
Yeah. It's funny when he called in and then he said, wait, he gives him he was cursing.
He's got a potty mouth, Lane. Hey, Lane, give us another drop back before we let you go. Get up there, take the snap, drop back. We're throwing a bomb downfield to Garrett Wilson.
You got to lean the phone up on something though, Lane. You can't just put it, back down or face down.
Okay, now Lane, put your phone up against something. This might be the best we could do, people. I'm trying. All right, Lane, take your phone, right? Take your phone, and you want to put it lean it up like this, lean it up against something.
All right, get in the frame.
Okay, get in the frame. Now just take a step back a little bit, like back here. Wait, you're not in the frame. There we go, right there. Now drop back and throw.
That was impressive because he not only threw it, but he caught it as well, which is not an easy thing to do.
Maybe he's a 2-in-1 player. This is like Travis Hunter, but better.
He's good, though, you know.
Lane, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, like, you know, I mean, like, I know that the Giants are done. They won.
Can they win again on Sunday with the Jets? The Jets would really appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. That was a terrible game the way the Jets played.
Well,
Yeah.
Lane, you have a great New Year's, right? I heard you're going to Times Square. You wearing a diaper?
No,
standing
I'm
in
not.
Times Square?
No, I'm not going to Times Square. I'm just gonna stay home, have
just
some
chilling?
food. Yeah.
All
right.
Say hi to your mom for me, okay?
Okay, well, thank
got
you
it.
for taking the call. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Lane's got a cannon, man. That looked pretty good.
He looked at the last name and was like, Joe.
Joe last name.
Last name. So that's my new name for at least a couple of weeks is Joe last name. But yeah, no, we could use any players we can get. I think Lane has some serious upside for sure.
Super chat from Bang. We'll do a couple more calls here. Raffle's coming up. Make sure you enter if you want a chance to win a jersey. Let's see. Bang says, remember when I said Salad did nothing on the sidelines? He got flagged for it. Boom. Same with Glenn today. Glenn is lost and sapped of his confidence. Yeah, but the difference is Saleh at least was a proven defensive coach. Look at the defense. Look at the player development. Again, there's nothing tangible I can point to. Saleh, as bad as that first year was, they beat the Bengals who were in the Super Bowl that year with Mike White. They nearly beat the Bucs who were the defending Super Bowl champions. They went out there and they beat the Titans, who I believe were the 1 seed that year, and then they got upset by the Bank, if memory serves. Again, I don't want to romanticize the 2021 Jets. They were a bad football team, and Saleh ultimately was not a good coach. But that team was so much better coached than what we have seen this year, and that's alarming considering Fields is in his 5th year, and Zach Wilson was a rookie, and he's never been good. Fields, we were promised, would be coached up, and he's never been worse. There's a huge difference when you compare the two.
Yeah, and even with Glenn too, if he was just stoic from the jump, then I wouldn't really care if that's how he was on the sideline. But being a rah guy, not interacting with the players all with moping on the sideline. Obviously, it's not a positive sign. Where he started as rah, and now he transitioned into being what he is now on the sideline. So that's where I'm really looking into it. Okay, he's changed. His mindset's different. The team's not buying in. But again, if you're just stoic and you're just chilling on the sideline, but you're winning, nobody really cares. It's just the change in his tune that really is standing out to me with Glenn. The sideline looked dead. I know there's another person in the chat who just said that they were at the game too, and it was horrific in terms of the sideline energy and stuff. And no doubt about it was. And again, why are you buying into this team if you're a player? Again, it's you come into the meeting room and hey, look at this run. We were down 35-31-10 against the Jaguars. This is our brand, guys. Good job. It's they'd be sitting there this is a joke. They had probably a similar reaction to as they did with Saleh with the whole crow thing with the Eagles and something. And then people backtracking yeah, that's unequivocally just not true. So yeah, man, it's just please wipe our hands of this. I don't know if Woody Johnson has the balls to do it. The hug every day. Apparently loves this dude. It's his first hire in however many years. So I don't think he'll have the balls to do it, but we all 99% of us know what's going to happen, in 2026 if he's retained, and we're going to be looking for a new guy in 2027.
Yeah, we're just delaying. We could do it a year early and be smart like New England, or we could make the same mistakes we always do. When they scored that touchdown, they were down 41-13, and that was the play that he cited, the drive he cited for his brand when the Jaguars are in prevent defense, up 41-13. Just, it's unbelievable. Bino says, Faria article today buries Glenn's flip-flopping. I was going to reference this. Nick Faria, JetX, you guys have been killing it with this debacle of a coach situation. JetX has a great story. Nick wrote it. Nick Faria. Just all the times Glenn said one thing and then flip-flopped. There's 5 damning things, and I will be referencing it going forward. I bring up a lot of it on my own, but he has the specific quote and date matched up with it. So it's a really good read on JetX. Let's see. Tank for Ty wants to know who you got in the Bama versus Indiana game.
Yeah, I mean, with the Nick article, like I said, I literally just get up before I do the show with you because I work at midnights. So I haven't checked that out either. I got to check out his article on Nania's Twitter. Apparently, he's been burying Glenn with some statistics. And in terms of the Alabama, probably Indiana, because I think they're a better coach team. I know, and somebody said like last week, oh, they have 5 stars versus 3 stars, whatever. I think Indiana has better talent regardless of 3 stars versus 5 stars in high school. At least they're playing better. So I think Indiana is a better team, so they'll probably win. But it feels like I'm like a Simpson homer at this point. I don't even mean to be. I'm just trying to be honest about what I see with him and how much he's getting disrespected. So I think the Simpson win would be good for the brand. But realistically, I don't even care. I just want both of those guys to play very well because obviously the Jets need a quarterback, and then both playing well is good for them. It seems like a lot of people are like, Mendoza more or bust for the Jets, but I think Simpson having a good game against Indiana would really do a lot for his stock, at least with the Jets fans, I would say, just in general.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's say hello to Paul Faz. Paul, what's going on? You look comfy, Paul.
What's going on, Jay and Jay? I'm run over by the lame train right now. I quit smoking. I'm on day 3, so I'm still withdrawing. I feel like crap, but at least I don't have to work. I took off, so fighting the fight.
You look great.
Thanks, man. Tough. Quitting smoking is rough, but I don't know. I just wanted to touch base as always. It's just ridiculous that you watch these other teams play and you just see such competent play. And with us, it's the same crap. I mean, the one thing I'll always say about Saleh compared to this regime is at least we did have a defense. And I think the whole Aaron Rodgers thing really played a role in his career here as a Jet because he had to do what, he had to do Hackett to keep Aaron Rodgers happy. So I don't feel he ever fully got a shot. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he gets another head coaching job and could go somewhere and be somewhat successful. I'm just disgusted still over everything because I just look and say, what are we going to do? We're going to run this guy out again next year against the division we're in. Like, we're going to lose again. I mean, we're going to be crap again. So there goes a whole nother year. You can pick as many players as you want and put them on this team. If there's no scheme and they're not coached properly, they're going to suck. And the proof is in the pudding. We let 2 of our best defensive guys go, and we didn't even notice they're gone. Why? Because whether they were here or not, we sucked. So, you could give us 10 of the best players, and if they don't scheme right, we're going to suck. So, I don't know. I'm just disgusted, and I don't feel good. So, thanks for the chat. Hopefully, I'll win one of these raffles one day, man. I've only been doing them forever, and I get
you're due, Paul.
I am, man. I never
Today's
win
the
that
day.
crap.
Today's the day. I feel it.
Happy New Year's, gents. Keep up the great work as always. Thanks, man.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go of that rope, Paul. Don't do it.
Like I said last week, the rope it's not us letting go of the rope, it's the rope letting go of us. Yep. That's I don't want to make the suicide jokes, but that's kind of what the Jets do to you, But yeah, man, it's what else can you say at this point, really? I don't know how you do this for another couple of days, just talking about Glenn, because it's all it's going to be until, Black Monday, where he is fired or he's not. And then just the sinking feeling of going through the rest of the offseason with all the movies he's making, knowing that most likely he's gone in 27. It's very bleak if he's the coach. Cause like he said, you don't even notice that Q and Sauce are gone. And we had Q, we had Sauce, we had JJ and Brees, when he was really good a few years ago, and none of it matters until you have head coach quarterback combo. Even if they get the right quarterback, I don't think they have the right coach. So none of it's going to matter.
I'll tell you what, we got time for one more call with you, Joe. And we might be speechless at this point, but this man is never speechless.
Go ahead and kick to it.
Beast?
Give me a second.
What are you doing there, Beast? You tired?
Just playing Price is Right bingo. And also got my new cup yesterday in the mail. The brand new and improved.
How much did you pay for that cup?
$10.
Money well spent?
Hey. And our boys were dog shit this year. They get the grade of an F. But I am looking forward to Knicks basketball all season long because we are nothing but hot, hot, hot. And when you're hot, you stay hot. And when you're not hot, you know where you go, right in the cooler. But the way I watched Sunday's game, it was just like this. That's how bad we played on Sunday. This look. Well, I just put a bag over my head and say, please get me out of here. Or just do an Al Bundy and go, oh, man, we really think cha-cha-cha. Look at us. We are flat cha-cha-cha. Living in the gutter, cha-cha-cha. We really suck, cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, well done. Hey, I got a comment here from Tank for Ty. He wants you to take it all off.
That's a compliment.
Sorry, rejected. I'm not here to show my body. My body's private. Thank you very much.
That's for your that's for your OF, Beast. You have an OF for that. Make him subscribe to your OF.
Yeah, it's called Hey, you think I'm a cheap service around here? Yeah, this.
Now that's a body, a man's man.
Hey, a man's man pays his fair share by blood, sweat, and tears and agony. As a matter of fact, I treated myself over to Target this afternoon and got that last 18-pack of these.
Nice.
Hey, what you see is what you get.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Oh, well, hey, there's no saying. Hey, oh, well, you should have called it. Too little, too late. Aaron Glenn's boys, I'm going to say this. After what I saw Sunday, too, his team did not look like it didn't look like a well-oiled team. It was more like yeah, right in the dumps, right in the old sewage. Not great sign. I say this, I already said it before, I'll say it again. 8 brand new stars we're gonna go get. We're gonna take $3 billion out. We're going to install brand new ice baths, and we're going to go get another coach that has balls and has some brains. I am sick and tired of this, wishy-washy, complaining, 15-year drought. Look at the drought.
Ali wants to know, are you wearing a diaper for New Year's Eve?
Dry. Come on. My towels are more drier than what everybody else has. When I throw my stuff in the dryer, at least sure, it's going to take 45 to 50 minutes going. Hey, at least my towels get better than the Jets do because we don't know what we're doing. And Brady Cook, I'm sorry. He got no heart. He's a bum. I mean, come on. He looked like he was getting. He looked like he was getting punched. After the 6th round, he could have been knocked out right flat on his ass, and Mick could have told him, all right, kid, I think it's time to think you've had enough for a day. Get some water for this kid and get him out of here. He's a
beast. Again, Times Square, New Year's Eve. Diaper, is it coming on?
I'll be going to sleep early because I have no hope for New Year's. It's just another day. Another day. Just think of it. It's another day at the office. But I'll tell you what, on New Year's, I know what I'll be doing. I'll be sleeping in, and then maybe I'll go down to the bowling alley on New Year's Day and throw some shots.
But Angela's requesting, give us one "Get in My Belly" sound drop.
You'll get the bird special.
What?
Calm your freaky down.
I know. I don't know if I want the bird special. Anyway, Joe, last name, tremendous film review.
I would like to go around my house and everything is muted and Beast just kind of makes my sound effects for my dryer, for my punches, for everything. Some elite sound effects from Beast. And I think last week he was saying he was struggling with like his back and all of this stuff, but comes out supporting the Dr. Pepper shirt and a 16-pack of Twix. So interesting choice, but here we are. That's why we love Beast.
Beast, You're one of a kind. Joe, so are you. Happy New Year, man. Thanks for always coming on every week, despite how miserable the year's been. You help make us smarter and teach us a lot every time you're on, which is what it's all about.
I am super thankful that this is the last time I'm ever going to be breaking down Jets film, at least of the 2025 Jets. 2026, maybe a different story. The next time I'm on, I think, like you said, we are doing Dante Moore. I don't know if Simpson and Mendoza are playing at that point or not, or if I have enough time. But nonetheless, quarterback film next week. So much, much more exciting than watching the Jets get blown out consistently.
Oh, the pain never stops. Joe, you're the man. Keep up the great work, dude.
Yep. See you. Appreciate you, Jake.
Joe Blewett with us there. We'll get to more of your calls. Last chance to get in here. I was on the radio for 4 hours. We did 2 hours earlier, so we won't do a full 2 on this show. But I do want to give people a chance to win a Jets jersey at the end of the show, Jets Legends jersey, or you have a chance to win a prize on Friday, our weekly raffle series, as we do it every single week. We're up to raffle 55. Klecko signed jersey, Revis signed jersey, Maynard signed football are the prizes. Let's see here. Call It Out is in the raffle for one. Call it out. You're the man. Thanks for supporting the show.
Calm your freaky down.
Oh, yeah. All right. What do we got here? We got more people on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is a mad man. All right. There's another way to describe it. That's why we call him Mad Max.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Why is the Wi-Fi is terrible? Leaving.
Mad Max, what are we doing? Can you hear me? God. Man with a rake is in the raffle for one. Oh. Hey now. All right, I'm counting raffle names here. We'll add Man with a Rake to the conversation. Jet Shot, he says, what offensive system did Adam Gase run? Whatever Peyton Manning wanted. Let's see. Pork, Mike Tomlin leaving the Steelers question. I don't buy that. Even if they don't win the division, they're going to get rid of Tomlin. In the hypothetical scenario, Tomlin is gone. Please, Woody, please do what needs to be done. Man, Papa Jet says Mad Max wears me out. HCO says Beast and Max. Great time to tune in. It's always funny when I hear from people like what part of the show they tune in for if they catch it live. Man. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it's going to work with this next caller. Who knows what exactly he is doing?
What are you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Can you guys hear me, Jake?
There's a snake in my boot.
Oh, man, I'm at the gym right now. Hey, a little back and bass today. Hey, little back, Jake. So let's talk about the Jets. So this is my prediction for the Bills game. It will be an absolute blowout. What's your thoughts on that, Jake? Give me your thoughts. You think it's going to be another blowout? It'll probably be like the biggest blowout of all time, Jake. What do you think? Jake, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Because the Bills game's a blowout, honestly.
Guess I couldn't hear you, Max. Guess I couldn't hear you. Gator writes in, got a feeling Max may need a personal trainer. No way he's doing anything of these exercises correctly. My new bit with Mad Max is he's going to ask, can you guys hear me? And I could say anything and he'll just keep going. So that's why I went with, there's a snake in my boot, because why not? So give me good phrases to say when Mad Max asks if I can hear him. I'm open for all suggestions. Beast, you got a suggestion?
Are we ready yet? I was just doing some review work. And right now I'm gonna do some other review work as well. Get my bills over here and take care of all my other usual nonsensical pips creep shit. But unfortunately, we're gonna be just fine next season. We got basketball coming up. The Knicks are hot. The Rangers are hot. Our Islanders are smoking, blazing through like a bowl of fire. All we gotta worry about now is just see if where football will stand, because football right now does not look good in New York. Only hockey's looking good, and only basketball's looking good. And if possibility, maybe if boxing would come to the Madison Square Garden for a good fight event, maybe some. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing a good fight. Why not? It's better than what we're watching nowadays. We can't even tell who's good and who's bad anymore. I'll tell you what, you put Angela Lansbury and Tom Selleck together, there you go. You got a great combination. That had a kick to it.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm counting the raffle names. Last chance to get in. Matt L. just gave himself 5 more chances to win a Jets jersey.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Matt, thank you. I got you down for 5. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play a short clip. At the end of the clip, it's raffle time, so get your entries in.
How you look at today, 42-10 against the Patriots team that's obviously much better than them, but they did nothing right today, and it just feels like not only did they lose this game, but it feels like Aaron Glenn is lost right now as a head coach of a team.
He has no answers. And again, this is a head coach who came in and said, we're here to win now and going forward. He preached player development. There's no one that has improved on this team. You can't name one player on defense that has actually been a positive. He's already admitted a huge mistake with his defensive coordinator hire. They fired Steve Wilkes. Hey, I guess it wasn't all Steve Wilkes' fault. Again, you have a defensive-minded head coach. They have broken an NFL record for 16 consecutive games without an interception. Aaron Glenn was a phenomenal cornerback in his day, had over 40 picks with the Jets. The fact that they don't have one, and most weeks, John, they don't come close. No. There's just so many red flags on top of the fact.
How do you not just get like a tip going your way? Like that is stunning to me. 0 interceptions.
It's remarkable. And then, you look at the hires on offense, right? Charles London, former college running back, mostly coached running backs. He's tasked with being the quarterback coach. With a first-time offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand, he comes over from Detroit as the pass game coordinator from the Lions. Well, Jared Goff's a drop back, pocket QB. So you bring in Justin Fields and say, we're going to let him play quarterback. We're going to coach him up. He's never been coached properly. It's insulting to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. He went 4-2 in Pittsburgh last year. You guaranteed him a starting spot, $30 million all guaranteed for 9 games of Fields, and that's it. So now we're going to give Aaron Glenn a rookie quarterback and say, all right, it didn't work with your first big swing at the position. Now go take a Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson and go make sure that they're in position to have success. It's just tough to sit here and buy that when this team is likely going to finish 3-14, and Aaron Glenn will join only Rich Kotite and Adam Gase as 2 Jet coaches to have 14 losses or more in any season. Glenn's doing this in year 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to get to the raffle, but Fibrows just called in, so he'll close before we get to the raffle. What's up, Fibrows?
Hey man, how's it going? I was looking at some stuff. It looks like Dante Moore's coming out. Thank God, you were right, bro. Let's go.
I mean, why wouldn't he come out? I never. It's not official yet, but the second he comes out, I hope Allen apologizes and then kisses my ass. But that's a conversation
ecstatic
for another day.
I mean, I'm glad I was wrong. Thank God. And congratulations on you're moving up in the food chain, bro. I see you in the suit. Keep going, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Fibrows. I appreciate it. That was Sunday night on NBC's Sports Final. Thank you again to John Chandler for inviting me to come on to talk Jets and Giants.
You did great, man. Keep it up, man. That's really all I had to say. God bless, bro. So talk to you soon.
Well, Happy New Year, Fibrows. Great call.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see. Party with Peg and Artie. Dapper Jake. Great show. Thank you, Artie. Happy New Year to you and Peg. Get you in the raffle for 2. Beautiful. All right, I'm typing their name in manually here. We are almost all set. We're going to raffle away a Jets jersey. Tomorrow, I'm planning on going live when I get done with radio at 11 a.m. We'll likely only have one show because it's New Year's Eve. I'm working New Year's Day on radio from 6 to 9. So if you're commuting, traveling, want some sports talk in the morning to keep your company, tune in. Definitely could use as many as maniacs calling in as possible. As you would imagine, New Year's Day, you're not exactly going to get a ton of phone calls here, but I'll be doing the show from that studio right in there. So you can see the Jet logo here. Wish I could show you guys the full mural, but it wraps around this hallway right here. All right. Let's bring in our Raffle Master of Ceremony before we do this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man that they call many names, including Bruce Blubber.
Are we ready?
Ready.
Well, hello everybody. The Macho Man is back in business before New Year's. Now, the time for talking is over. Let's shut up and let's get down and get funky like a monkey. It's time to spin the Jake Asman Wheel of Champions. Don't you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Nice job. Nice job, Beast Breaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Hey, good luck to everyone. Again, thank you for your support. None of this is possible without the community. Whether we agree or disagree on anything Jet related, we all want the same thing at the end of the day, which is for this team to not be a joke. So thank you for your support. Black Gypsy with his traditional end of show as the wheel is up on the screen. Membership entry. We got you in for one, Mr. Gypsy. Also, Black Gypsy, where you been on the phones, man? We got to get a Black Gypsy call in. Hopefully tomorrow on the show before the new year is over. Also, my apologies. Great job by Macho Man Beast with the raffle intro there. All right. Good luck to everyone. You know the drill. If you win, AsmanJake@gmail. Email me. Name, address, player you want, size you want the jersey in. Any of the Jet Legends jerseys that we've showcased on the show are your options. Good luck to all. Only one can win, and we determine the winner right now. The winner is, looks like it's going to be Eli Betts. Eli, congratulations. Let's freaking go.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Boom. Congrats to Eli, a great fan of the Jets, an awesome member of this community. Well deserved. Eli, you got my email. Just hit me up. He's watching the show live, which is great. Tell me the player you wanted in, and we will get that jersey sent to you this week. All right. You guys are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got a super chat at the end. Big fella says, Jake, I got the Mangold football. Thank you. Big fella, thank you. Congrats on winning the Nick Mangold autograph football on Friday's show. I'm glad it arrived safely. Big fella, a true legend in this community. All right. That does it for me. Thank you all for being tuned in. Thank you all for watching. We're back tomorrow. Again, I'm on the radio at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so check it out if you missed it, or if you are in the car, 8:80 a.m. or the ESPN New York app, that's the place to be. I'll leave you guys with something that I feel needs to be played. So sit back and enjoy it, and go Jets.
I wanted to jump up on you, asshole. I wanted to jump a bone. But I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole. I don't wanna jump a bone. See, Barry got the. I don't wanna talk to people with no ideas. Not that I wanna jump a bones, but you're very attractive. I wanted to jump a bone. Can I say hello to my
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!